guys, welcome back to the channel. If you like the content, hit the subscribe button, leave a like down below. In this video, we're going to show off the GameCube app. Now, I'll do a little commentary here and there, but for the most part, it's just going to be the gameplay playing so you guys can get an idea of what it is. Now, I am very rusty in these games. It's been a very long time since I've played F-Zero. I still love the game though, so bear with my gameplay. It's not the greatest. I swear I didn't suck that much back then. I actually unlocked all the characters back on the GameCube. I can have proof if you want it, because I still have my old save. Anyway, with that out of the way, the things I noticed with the system itself, we'll go over a little bit of things here while we're playing the GameCube footage in the background, is everything is much faster. The menu system itself is pretty much, it looks identical, like even the layout and the great background and everything when you go through the settings, which is kind of nice because then you can just navigate really fast. The GameCube app itself is amazing. It has both the American version and the EU version, the European version, so that's really cool. I didn't try out the European versions, I just tried out the my region versions. F-Zero has the option to make it widescreen, which basically makes it feel like a brand new game. And it ran beautifully, no choppiness, no hiccuping. It's 60 frames per second. It looks glorious on my big 55-inch OLED TV. In fact, I got carried away playing it for like 2 hours this morning before I did anything else. I was like, oh crap, it's been 2 hours already? I just having a blast. Finally playing F-Zero basically in 4K or 1440p. I mean, it looks amazing on this TV. It looks like when people download the game illegally and they up-res it for people. You know, there's YouTube videos out there like that. So I'm just so happy that I can finally play F-Zero GX once again on a modern platform because they've never re-released it. So yeah, the controls are going to take some getting used to because it's been so long and every vehicle in the game controls differently. What's really cool about F-Zero GX is there's a ton of characters unlock and each character has like their own ending, like in a fighting game. So they have a short little animated ending for each character, and it's so cool. It gives you incentive to want to play through and learn every single racer. And some of their cars or their vehicles, their cool spaceship vehicles, hover cars, whatever you want to call it, are very difficult to control. They're like, what is it? I believe his name is Pico, the green alien dude that kind of looks like Piccolo a little bit, haha, but with mandibles. His vehicle's like super, it turns really fast, so some of the handling you have to get used to. There was a couple cars that I had a really hard time beating the game with back then because of the controls being so different. Even with tweaking it and trying to get the handling to match other cars, I feel like the overall easiest one to use was, of course, Captain Falcon. But there was another one, and I don't remember because it was 20 years ago, that was, for me, it was like perfect. It had the perfect amount of turning, braking, just handling overall, and speed. It was like the perfect balance of everything. So I have to go through and unlock everybody again to remember how to do that. Oh man, it's the nostalgia thing. I'm on a nostalgia high right now. I'm super happy. I did go to the midnight release. It looked like 1,000 people at Best Buy. There was 2 huge lines wrapped around the entire building. I got there about an hour early, so I was in about the middle of it, and they had a pre-order line and they had a extra line, basically, if you hadn't purchased it yet. And it went really slow because they were trying to get extra sales with picking up your console. See, at GameStop, you can pre-purchase. You come in early at, I think it was like 3 p.m. You pre-purchase your system, and then once you get there, boom, they get you through the line real fast, get your stuff, because you've already paid for everything. No, Best Buy went the opposite route. They had all the Nintendo stuff laid out right at the front, and they wanted you to buy extra stuff. So people were taking their time, shopping, picking up extra games, and it really dragged out the process of getting your system. I'm sure they made a crap ton of money last night. When I finally got my system, all my stuff I already picked because I was trying to get through it as fast as possible. So all my stuff was up there at the pickup lane. So all I had to do is go up there and wait for the guy to find it. And holy crap, I was looking behind the counter. I've never seen so many consoles day one for any system launch ever. This Nintendo console is definitely going to be the biggest launch in history after what I've witnessed last night. And so many people are just so excited about a new Nintendo system. It's so cool seeing that all the way into my 40s pretty much. I'll be 40 this year, and it's just nice to see that Nintendo is still getting this kind of reaction after all these years, because that's the one I grew up with. I just think it's cool. It's like it's coming full circle, you know. Anyway, so on to Soul Calibur. Again, another game I'm extremely rusty in. Mitsurugi was my main, so I played through a little bit of the arcade mode, and I got all the way to Astaroth, and I always remembered Astaroth would always just beat my ass every single time because he's way too powerful, and he has like this endless where he hits you on the ground, you can't get up, he grabs you out of the air. I remember taking a couple tries to try to beat him. So when the Soul Calibur playthrough plays, yeah, you'll see why I quit, because I'm like, all right, on to the next thing. So I'll let that play for a little bit, and then we'll talk about Zelda Wind Waker.
Just as I thought. Battle 2, fight! You win! Pretentious fool! Versus Raphael. Love and betrayal slowly intertwine. Don't cry. Well then, let us dance. Battle 1, fight. Astaroth. The man from the black mist bore the light of madness. It's too late to beg for mercy. Exterminate! Battle 1, fight! Battle 2, fight! Six, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Alright, so on to Zelda Wind Waker here. Now, the opening sequence in every Zelda game, to me, is always like, it always takes way too long. It's like, just throw me into the action. I know it's the build up, it's the setting the tone for the games and stuff, and I just wish I could just skip the beginning tutorial part and just go right into it. Now, all the controls were inverted, so when I was playing it, I was like, oh man. And I didn't think to go check the controls, even though I went over to F-Zero and I changed the boost button, because for some reason the default Y button would not boost in F-Zero. I forgot to mention that. So I had to switch it out to the R button, the right bumper, and it worked fine. Like the regular boost just wouldn't work. I'm like, why is it not working with the Y button? I don't know if I was hitting something wrong or what, but it worked when I switched the Y button with the R bumper. Right bumper. Anyway, back to Zelda. Zelda, it looks amazing. It looks like a brand new game with the HD upgrades and everything, just like Soul Calibur. And I mean, all three of these games look phenomenal for being such old games. I don't think they could have gotten this to look as good or run as good if they did it on the Switch. Like, I feel like, I know they're old games, but the Switch 2's the power of it, the way it's designed, these games just look phenomenal and they load really, really fast. I don't know how F-Zero GX would have performed on the Nintendo Switch, even though it's more powerful than the GameCube and stuff like that. I know that. It's just the game. It was designed perfectly for the GameCube. I believe it was 60 FPS back on the GameCube. And that's crazy to me. Like, they figured that out back then, 60 FPS, and we're still struggling to get that across the board with modern games. So it is weird seeing that. But all three of these games perform phenomenally. They look phenomenally. They have 60 FPS. There's like no input lag. The one thing about Zelda that annoyed me is that it's showing the GameCube controls. Now, and it doesn't line up with, I have the Pro Controller. I was trying to use the Pro Controller, and I kept having to like press buttons to figure out what did what. So that game, you're probably going to want to get a GameCube controller. They do sell them, like, for the Switch that are pretty cheap, or you can go to the Nintendo store and buy the new official one. I would just say use an old one. It should work fine, because then the buttons layouts is how it's supposed to be. But yeah, it was kept throwing me off, and like I said, the camera was inverted, so when I was trying to turn the camera, I kept falling off the level or jumping off the wrong thing. I'm like, ay. So I only played the first, I want to say 15 minutes of it. I'll have to go back and look at my footage after I edit everything, because I just wanted to give you an idea of how it looked and how it ran. Like I said, it looks and runs amazing. So I can't wait for them to add more stuff to the GameCube app in particular. I hope they take the time and allow us to really edit the controls and have widescreen. The fact that F-Zero has widescreen is a godsend, because that game desperately needs it. The old GameCube version had that also, which is really cool. It's like one of the first and only games back on the GameCube that actually had widescreen support back then. That game was way ahead of its time. It's like I said, they don't even have to make a new one now. Now that you can play it on a modern platform, I just wish it wasn't tied to the service. I wish I could just buy it. Like, I want a physical copy of that game. They don't have to do anything to it. It's already perfect as it is. Obviously, up-res it like they did. But just put the version that's on the app on a cartridge so that I can have it on my shelf again and have a brand new game, and not on a disc, because I took care of my stuff, but eventually that disc is going to rot or crack, and then it will no longer work anymore, and the physical copy will be gone. So far, just based off of the first 3 games for the GameCube app, I feel like that alone is worth the price of purchase. I'm shocked they didn't increase the price of the expansion pass, at least not yet. I bet you that's coming in the Christmas or next year, because they've increased the price across the board of other things. Maybe the higher game prices is to offset stuff like this, so they don't have to increase expansion pass. For $50 a month, or not a month, for 50, that would have been like ridiculous. For $50 a year, you get all this stuff. It's totally worth it. You get N64, NES, Game Boy, Game Boy Advance. I mean, you get all this stuff now, and since it's been out for a while, they've added quite a few games to it. Like, I was shocked because I hadn't played my Switch for almost 2 years after the Pokemon Violet ran so poorly. I didn't really want to play the system anymore. So coming back and just seeing all the stuff they've added to these apps, it's worth it now. I think I'm never going to let it lapse like I did back then. Plus, you get free DLC with it, or the upgrades with it, so there is that. So I have Zelda Tears of the Kingdom coming in the mail. I found a Switch 1 copy for $50 on Amazon. It's been delayed 3 times. I hope that it's like, and it better not be like, it said the US version, so it better not be like another region or something. Amazon's a little finicky about that. It's like all of a sudden you get, and it says new, it said the person had a lot good reviews and stuff like that. So I'm like, might be a little sketchy. But if it's $50, you're saving all that money. Otherwise, I was just going to buy the Switch 2 version. I'm like, wait a minute, let me try to get a cheaper copy here, because I've already spent almost $1,000 on the system, and it's like, try to save some money now. So anyway, overall, I'd give the GameCube app, with just the first 3 games, probably give it almost a 10 out of 10, because the way everything runs and looks, it's just amazing. And it has the quick save thing, so you can save at any moment. So let's say you're in the middle of a race on F-Zero, which is, you're going to be using this a lot, and let's say you mess up on the last lap, you can create a suspend point. I would if little tips for F-Zero. Every lap you do perfectly, quickly create a save state, because the next lap could go south very easily. Some of those levels are so incredibly difficult for like flying around, unless you have like twitchy fingers. Like, my reaction time's diminished over the years. Like, I played that 20 years ago when I was strapping on man. Now my like I said, my reaction time is just not as good. I miss my young reaction time. Yeah, so save state, use it. I don't think we really need it for Wind Waker. You might need it for Soul Calibur, because if you play on higher difficulties and you're trying to get through the arcade mode and stuff, you could just reload and you won't have to like continue from a loss or something if that matters to you. But yeah, all these games just run amazing. Anyway, I'll stop gushing about it. There's a couple more videos I'm going to make today. I'm going to make one on Fantasy Life showing off the upgrades. I don't know if I'm going to do Pokemon or Mario Kart, because everybody's doing those two games. I might pick something else that nobody else is doing just to differentiate, because otherwise I'll get buried by all the big YouTubers. This channel's like not even 100 subscribers yet because I just started it. Anyway, did you get a Nintendo Switch too, or are you gonna wait a little bit before you get it? I mean, I wanted it right out of the gate so that I can keep up with all the games coming out. Plus, I love the Switch 1. I was waiting for the Switch 2 to play a lot of these games. Anyway, sound in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and stay frosty.